Hey guys, welcome to our channel.
And please hit the subscribe button, also the notification button to be notified for our daily content. And
Okay guys, so we're going to be reacting to BTS Glorious Moments, MMA Idol Explained by K-Army 1 and 2, Korean Traditional Version Idol Stage.
alright, let's get right into it.
Hello, this is Bin. I'm recording this in the early morning of February 27th. I'm staying up all night making this video because there is a story that I want you to hear before March 1st. You know that BTS received Daesang at the E-Daily Cultural Awards on Tuesday the 26th, right? That was obviously a very happy news, but I want to talk about RM's Daesang acceptance speech. That's related to the story that I want you to hear before March 1st. What is March 1st? It's a very important day. I'll tell you why. But before then, let's listen to what RM said.
Yeah.
Is this guy just gonna show up like throughout the video?
I don't know why you're asking me, I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
I just hope so. I like his
And in
drawing.
his speech.
이런 말이 가장 생각에 먼저 나더라고요. 김구 선생님이 하셨던 오직 갖고 싶은 것은 높은 문화의 힘이라고 하셨던 말씀이 가장 기억에 남는데요. 문화라는 것은 실로 그 어떤 물리적인 힘보다 모든 경계를 무너뜨리는 가장 강력한 무형의 힘이라고 생각을 합니다. 그리고 이 문화들이 제 곁에서 숨을 쉬고 있고 제가 이 문화를 향유하면서 제가 사람으로서 사람이 사람다워진다고 생각하고 또 제가 하는 음악에도 많은 영감과 영향을 주고 있는 아주 강력한 사람을 사람으로 사람답게 만드는 그런 힘이라고 생각이 들었습니다.
You're probably not familiar with the name he mentioned, Kim Gu, right? That's okay because he's not a famous person worldwide. However, he was one of the greatest leaders of Korea who had a bigger vision and bigger mind than any other leaders of the world. Koreans are touched just because of the fact that RM mentioned the name Kim Gu during the speech. The meaning of RM's speech and the name he mentioned is related to March 1st. So I'll talk about this story that
Yeah, RM was talking about him, right?
Yeah.
That's your favorite BTS member, right?
Well, is he?
Well,
I
you
mean-
mentioned him a lot, so
Hey, wait, I have a question.
what's up?
Is it like has anyone made like a quiz about them? If
Yeah, I'm
there
pretty
is-
sure there's a bunch of quizzes. Anybody that is listening right now to me, please link any quizzes. My friend here's gonna take one.
Who him?
No, you're gonna take it.
Man, I need to
Are you
study.
ready?
Yeah, you're gonna study and give you a whole handbook.
Yeah, so I need a
But
day.
RM stands, I mean, he's like the leader, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
obviously he's the leader.
That's why he's giving the speech about the culture now.
Yeah, but I'm surprised though. I don't know anything about this Korean leader that they were talking about.
Kim Koo.
So
Kim
I'm
Koo,
kind
yeah.
of interested in finding out what he did to be considered a genius. Also,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'll continue, I guess.
Yeah.
that has a huge reverberations. Let's see, March 1st is Friday. It must be a nice weekend for you, right? However, it's more than a weekend in Korea. It's Independence Movement Day, which has a very important meaning. We call it 3.1절 in Korean. 3 means 3, 1 means 1, and 절 means anniversary. Do you have a day that celebrates your country's independence? If there is, congratulations to you too. 3.1절 is not an Independence Day, but it's the day that independence movement had started. On that day, the entire nation participated in the movement. And the movement of nationwide scale like this is very rare in the world history. At the time, Korea was colonized by Imperial Japan since 1910. Imperial Japan massacred Korean people, exploited and suppressed Korea both economically and culturally. Therefore, it was the saddest, darkest, and the most tragic era for Korean people. Therefore, on March 1st, 1919, which is exactly 100 years ago from March 1st of this year, Korean people had burst their anger, which had been restrained because of the brutalities of Imperial Japan. Everyone ran out to the streets and started to protest against Imperial Japan and proclaim the independence of Korea. This protest, which had started in the major cities of Korea, spread out to the entire nation. Eventually, the Korean people in various areas in China, Tokyo and Osaka in Japan, and even Philadelphia in the United States proclaimed the independence of Korea and let the world know that Korea wanted to be freed. I'm explaining this to you because this movement was not only about Korea, but also it initiated the worldwide movement for independence and inspired various other independence movements in other nations in Asia and Middle East, such as May 4th movement.
Yeah.
Didn't you say this? This video is way better than anything we have ever done.
Why, you like the history?
That, and he's also drawing and showing a lot more like pictures and
Oh,
stuff.
so you like the animations?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like videos that have animations too.
So
Yeah,
he's
but that's really interesting.
explaining.
Though. Yeah, I didn't know that.
A lot of research has to go into this. We just watch like videos and
Because
that's
in the
it.
title says this is explained by K Army, so it's like big. I guess this person is like a big fan of BTS.
Yeah, he's
did a thorough
he's
check.
explaining it really well.
Yeah.
Like so far, I'm a history buff. I really like stuff that happened in history.
Yeah.
And most of my beliefs are based on history, like stuff that has happened before.
Name one thing.
Right.
Well, for me, like actually, you know, what, I'm not gonna get into it because I can get very political.
Okay, this could be like its own separate video.
Yeah,
Like,
it
Yeah.
could be the future. Yeah, but I mean, most of my beliefs are based on like history.
Things that has happened.
Yeah, and that's the reason why it affects the way I believe in things, right? So for me, like just finding out about the stuff, it kind of makes me see like the world from another view. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's interesting.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. All right. Let's get right into it.
Movement in China, Gandhi's non-violence, non-cooperation movement in India, Egyptian revolution against the British occupation, and Turkish war of independence. So wherever you live on the earth, the meaning of this movement is not irrelevant to you. And Kim-gu, the person RM mentioned in his speech, started more organized independence movement since then with other independence fighters who were worried about the nation. They established a temporary government of Korea in Shanghai, China. Kim-gu was one of the leaders of the government, and he's the most remembered person among them by Koreans nowadays. I wouldn't say that RM gave this speech because he wanted to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Samiljeon. RM is one of the most thoughtful artists that I know of, but how would I know what he thinks? This is just what I think. But I've told you this because you and I share a common ground that we both love RM. So I use this as my justification to consider this as an opportunity for me to explain this to you. That's why I made this video as quickly as possible before March 1st. So you would understand me, right? And the award that BTS...
hey Eric, this is gonna be this one picture, and I really want you like to comment on it, like when you like edit.
received this time was
And
not
put in
one
a
of the
picture of
K-pop
yourself
music
editing.
awards. They received this award competing with all the artists in Korea, including the classical musicians and Korean traditional musicians. However, they deserve this award because they present such value with their performances. Their performances are not just simply cool, but they're embedded messages and Korean traditional culture.
That's the
Tested blog.
we reacted to this live performance.
Yeah, I can recall. I just can't recall.
Oh, the one with the animals?
No.
No,
It's like-
Deepa's Tetris blog.
where they
one.
were like masks.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like I'm guessing saying there's like meanings.
Hey, wait.
Um,
If you haven't seen that video yet, watch it first and then come back.
I think maybe it makes more sense to watch this one first and then go back to that one. Cause then
I'm
you'll
doing
know-
it for all of the views, man.
No, but I'm saying like no, I'm not doing it for the views. I'm doing it for to be more helpful. I'm doing it so like people can understand this and then they will watch the other one and they'll know what the meaning of those masks are.
They're like, watch this one first.
It
Never
makes
mind.
better sense to watch this one first. Alright, continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
so watch both
culture in
videos.
their performances. The best example was their stage at Melon Music Award 2018, which I made an explanation video
Yeah,
for.
that one we-
The stage was their collaboration with Korean traditional music.
look like a
So the
fiery
explanation
rainbow.
video that I made will follow after this. The video has the story about you, the army, and the Kim-gu's power of highly developed culture, which RM mentioned. The story of Kim-gu is also in the video. It also explains why BTS are presenting Korean culture to you. This was originally made as 2 separate episodes, but I made this as the combined version for your convenience. But before we start, can I show you a photo? This girl here. How old do you think she is?
10.
She was only 17 years old when this photo was taken. This girl had to see her parents get killed in front of her eyes just because of the fact that she proclaimed the independence of her nation. And she was imprisoned and subjected to unimaginably cruel tortures until she died while she was being tortured. The person who symbolizes the independence of Korea, the girl who represents March 1st, 1919, the 3일절. Her name was Ryu Hwan-sun. Would you please repeat after me? 대한 독립 만세.
Yeah, that
It
freaked me out.
means the independence of Korea is for on March 1st, 1919. This was the sentence that the girl and the entire people in Korea stood
Independence
up
of
against Imperial Japan and shouted out. If your time allows, please watch the video that follows too.
앞으로도 국가대표의 마음으로 세계 곳곳에서 대한민국을 많이 알리는 데 이바지하겠습니다.
Let's talk about each Korean traditional elements of the Idol stage one by one. First, let's listen to the original version of Idol that you're all familiar with.
Isn't that Calibra?
Did you guys like
And
watch
this
that
is
one
the
yet?
MMA version of Idol.
I mean, the instrument is that trumpet sound.
Can you hear the differences? The original version of Idol also used some of the sounds from the virtual Korean traditional instrument library developed by the Center for Arts and Technologies at Seoul National University. However, the MMA version of Idol was remixed from the fundamental sounds of the song
What's a
in order
remix?
to demonstrate the Korean traditional performances on the stage. I'm sure the instrument sounded very strange and exotic to you. Therefore, I would like to introduce each instrument used in the song.
Oh, that's cool.
Bangtan Boys never told us to explain it to you that they have used this and that instrument. However, if you take your time and learn about each instrument, you'll be able to hear more sounds and like the music even more. And I believe your understanding of BTS's music will be much deeper. I bet. The string instruments that I can hear are kayagum and hegum. The wind instruments that I can notice are taepyeongso and daegum.
The last one looked like the plunger. I'm not lying.
A plunger?
Yes.
Huh.
Go back. No, that's fine. Go back.
No, you're going to 4.
Wait.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Eight, wait, go back to like 8, 20, like 27. 8:27. Like that. Just do it there.
I mean,
Nah, never mind.
if it looks like a plunger, I mean,
Oh yeah. I get it. Yeah,
Well,
no,
it was-
yeah. But to a certain
this
size.
is like a wind instrument, right?
Yeah, but it was to a certain size.
So I'm guessing yeah.
Yeah, because he was
The shape, yeah.
yeah.
So, these are not traditional instruments that would be used here, right, in the United States.
That's why it sounded different, though.
Well,
That's what makes it
Yeah, because they
more.
used it in the Melon Music Awards, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's pretty cool because they also use those traditional instruments, which made it seem more authentic, like to the tradition.
yeah,
That's pretty cool, but you see
Yes,
how
but-
they're like all new school, you would never expect like these people, like these famous people, to do that, to like put so much thought into like a festival, like
Yeah.
into the what's called their independence, right?
right.
That's amazing. You like that only proves how smart RM is. Like if he was able to like mention it
Right,
and
exactly.
then actually do something about it, like to commemorate like the guy. Who was he? What
Kim
was it?
Koo.
Yeah, Kim Koo, or that's
Yeah.
his name, if I get it wrong. But yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, like I mean, it just shows how much they know. Like, and it's crazy because it makes me think that RM is a history buff too. Then, because he might be like well versed in that. Because I hear he's a genius, right? From what I hear, he's a genius. He has like a high IQ, right?
Yeah,
he could probably outsmart us all
yeah,
in
he
this room.
definitely could.
yeah, he like on the. He does. Well, I mean, I guess that's why he's the one who to structure everything.
Yeah,
He knows how to do it. So.
I can tell you.
Lastly, the percussion instruments used in the song are 장구, jing, gwengari, and buk. We have to listen to each instrument separately in order to get to know each of them and find out how beautiful they are. Well, but if you listen to Korean traditional instruments playing Korean traditional songs, it might be too boring to you right now. So, let's hear them play our favorite BTS songs.
Oh, which one is it?
Shall we start with Kayakum?
Oh, Gajangun.
Wow, that sounds really nice.
Right?
I love how that sounds.
That brings out the Asian
Sounds
instrument.
peaceful.
How about that? Isn't it lovely?
Yes.
Look at her fingers. Don't you think her skills are amazing? The performer of the song you just listened to.
See, look
the
like
way
she's
she plays
barely
it-
touching it.
The way she plays it looks like she plays it as a harp. That's how, you know.
Oh,
But it sounds so different.
Who has a YouTube channel called Yeji Kayakum. I think this
She has
channel is very worth
oh, she only has
subscribing.
17 subscribers.
CA has a lot more subscribers than us, though.
Yeah.
Like more than half.
So I'll provide the link to
but
our channel so
she
that
should
you
have
can
more.
listen to the full version of the song
For someone that
after
could
you're
play.
done with watching this video. Now let's go to the second instrument, which is Taegum. Again, this is another BTS cover.
I love that song. Fake love.
Here. Fake love.
I love how that sounds.
Fake.
Right, that one.
I've been listening to that, man.
Oh
really?
god, that's one big instrument.
Do you hear the sorrowfulness of the instrument? Playing this instrument is quite similar to playing a flute. However,
Yeah.
it definitely has a different charm.
A
This
flute,
clip
yeah.
is from the YouTube channel called Taegumi Nuna.
You can break that thing like with a damn flute.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh,
See, it also has a lot more subscribers.
yeah.
Like the
She's in
previous
1,000.
channel, I recommend subscribing to the channel
She's
and
talented.
listening to the full version of the song. Okay,
Another
the third
suggestion.
one is Taegum. This is an instrument played by bowing on the strings like a violin.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
though there are many similar
hold.
brother instruments throughout Eurasia, this is a Korean traditional instrument that has been Koreanized. Why don't we
Koreanized.
listen to Haegum's BTS cover?
That sounds pretty good. It kind of sounds like a soccer song to me.
Oh, what?
It sounds like you hear like that background noise.
Yeah.
It sounds like if you were like in a soccer match. Like a whistle.
World Cup. The World Cup. I think I heard it.
Yeah, like a World Cup song, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
kind of sounds like that to me.
It's more.
Oh, it
I
has
didn't
some.
realize about that.
It sounds like modern, but like it sounds like you see the whistle at the background. I think it's a whistle.
What's that?
The sound that you hear in the World Cup usually.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
has,
Hey, I
yeah.
just realized that there's a freaking.
Huh?
Is that open or is there a window blocking
It's
it?
a window, dude. Just leave it alone.
Oh.
I'm reacting to that.
Sorry, I just saw a guy watching us. That's why.
Oh, I don't want you. Continue.
Yeah. Covered by
This is from the J Lily's YouTube channel. She is very talented. Like
We
to
have
watch
more
her
subscribers
numerous
than her.
covers in her
Doesn't
channel.
matter, dude.
Please subscribe to
Yeah.
her channel
No,
and
I'm
listen
very
to the
surprised
full
that she
version
has
of her
listeners.
covers.
Oh,
Are
she's
you
talented.
enjoying
Yes.
listening to BTS
Wait.
songs?
Can any of you play like actual instruments? Because I can't.
I can play the piano.
Yeah, piano.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Can you teach me?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
You have to pay me
how much?
$100 an hour.
How about $5 a minute?
No.
Five
you
bucks
know
a
what, I'll do
minute.
it.
That's a lot more than I realized.
Let's get back to the
Yeah.
subject.
Played by Korean traditional instruments. Don't you feel much closer to Korean traditional instruments now? Yes, you do. You do. Now, let's listen to Taepyeongso, but we couldn't find BTS cover of this instrument. So,
sounds like
we
music from
prepared
their
something
songs.
that might be very familiar to you. The
Sexually romantic songs.
Sexually romantic
Yeah,
song.
that's what it sounds like.
You can't that's right.
Oh, the
Did
fusion
you-
of blues?
Yeah.
Huh.
No, the blues is sad.
Oh,
I get
yeah.
depressed.
Blues could still be sexual depending
Yeah.
on who's playing it.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Well, yeah, that's true.
fusion of blues and Korean traditional sound. Please listen to this. This is very charming.
Oh, he buys it.
I don't know. Like I was just telling you to put the volume up.
Oh,
It's already fully up.
Oh damn. Okay, continue.
all right.
Honestly, I want to thank you because we found this group Mute Music while we were looking for the BTS cover of this instrument for you. Who would ever thought that blues can be played with a Korean traditional instrument, taepyeongso? I really hope this group would achieve worldwide fame. Mute Music.
Wow.
Be sure to roll.
We gotta subscribe. I mean, these people have, some talent covering this stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very talented.
Maybe go visit them after this video.
Right, like we could check them all out, and hear them on our own time to learn more about.
I'm making Eric do a lot more work, aren't I?
What?
We are Mur, like Spanish. Very worth subscribing. Now, all we have left are percussion instruments. They are buk, 장구, 꽹가리, and jing. The ensemble of these 4 instruments are called 사물놀이. 사물 means 4 instruments. 놀이 means to play. And 사물놀이 is like a small chamber music version of 풍물놀이, which is kind of like a large orchestra playing outdoor. We'll cover 풍물놀이 in the second video. Let me tell you what is so special about these percussion instruments. Just like any other percussion instruments, these instruments stimulate the most instinctive emotions of human beings. However, these 4 instruments have much stronger power to do that. What made me say that so confidently? I'll show you the evidence.
This part looks like it's what creates what do you call it? A drum pattern, like some drum patterns. Yeah,
Drums, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these are percussions, but yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's just.
Can you see that little girl? She's unconsciously shaking her little body and gets attracted to the sound. So cute, isn't she? Aww. Also, isn't it so fascinating to watch people playing instruments immersed in their music like that? If you listen to 사물놀이 live instead of listening to it in this video, these powerful instruments will make you instinctively react to the massively resounding sounds and the beats. I really wish you could get a chance to see these instruments playing right in front of your eyes. You might be just like that little girl. Anyway, the Idol remix version.
If I had those instruments, I could break it like in mere seconds.
You would break them like on purpose? Or
No.
by accident?
By accident, I know myself.
But
I
don't you
still
think
suffer
that
all the
these
time.
are well built?
They have never met me. I broke a TV once.
Oh, okay. Well, not even
That MMA was the ensemble of the Korean traditional instruments that we just introduced to you. Since you have looked through all the instruments, now you can see that the scale is huge, right? This kind of combination is the size of a regular orchestra in the Western music. Don't you feel that it was so worth it to learn about the sound of the stage? Now you, who have seen this video, know more than anybody about the song Idol and the sound of the stage at MMA. And this was the moment that you finally understood the sound which Bangtan Boys wanted to play for you. In the first episode, we learned about the traditional sound of Korea that Bangtan Boys wanted you to hear. As I have previously announced, we will take a look at the Korean traditional elements in the visual arts of MMA Idol stage that BTS wanted you to see. Firstly, I'll give you the explanations as much as I know about the stage. Then secondly, I'll give you the personal interpretations about the hidden meanings that we have found based on the explanation that I'll give you. Lastly, there's a message that I want to give you about this stage. When you hear this message, you'll be amazed, surprised, and even touched by it because you'll realize that you were actually related to the stage. I'm absolutely positive We have a lot to cover, so let's get started with the explanations.
Oh, here we go.
The stage starts with a series of flashbacks about the history of BTS. It is followed by J-Hope's magnificent appearance. However, along with J-Hope, many dancers appear as well on the gigantic stage, which has multiple levels. The Korean traditional dance using book starts at the same time when J-Hope starts to dance. However, it might have been difficult for you to be impressed by the dance or even to focus on it like this, unless you're Korean. Why? Because J-Hope's dance was shining too brightly. You could have seen nothing but J-Hope. Am I right? However, we can't just pass it because this dance is a part of such an amazing Korean tradition. I will explain the identity of that amazing dance first. Let's watch this video.
Korean dance, no?
Yeah.
So it's really
This is
well
one of the
synchronized.
stages of National Kugak Center dance theater performance called Ogomu. I think the stage with multiple levels might have been inspired by this stage. The difference is the number of hoops.
Sick.
In this video, there are 5 hoops per person. O means number 5 in Ogomu. Gomu means dance using hoops. So Ogomu means a dance with 5 hoops. If you look at the dancers in the J-Hope's video, there are 3 books per person. Therefore, it is called Samgomu. As you can tell by now, Sam means number 3. The names of the dances vary depending on the number of books per person. There can be many different number of books, but dances with 3 or 5 books are most common. Since J-Hope was the main character of the stage, Samgomu might have been a little bit out of your focus. However, if you watch this video, you'll be amazed by this performance, which is both dance and playing the instrument at the same time. The Korean traditional book dance, which has been passed down for a long time, used to have religious meanings. So in the early 1950s,
Wow.
it has been
He has some
Right
really
now
long
he's showing some
sleeves.
art performance where this guy, he's covered in white clothing,
Yeah.
and he's just doing some crazy move. It's just sick.
recreated as a flamboyant dance as it is today by the Korean traditional dance master Lee Man-pang.
Lee May Bang. Oh, so this is the origin? Huh?
No, I don't know.
Then Jimin
1950.
appears on the stage with a fan, which is passed from J-Hope. I'll talk about this
Yeah, man.
again in the personal interpretation section. Anyway, this is the solo stage, which has drawn worldwide attention as one of the hottest search topics on the Google Trends. I think it may have been the most visually stunning solo stages of them all. This stage requires more explanations than the Samgomu of the former stage by J-Hope. Buchechum is the Korean name for the fan dance. Buche is a fan, chum is a dance. Now, Buchechum in Korea normally refers to a choreography by female dancers these days. This performance that you're watching is Buchechum.
Did you say what was it called? Puchacho?
Yeah, Buchechum.
Buchechum,
Yeah.
Okay.
which refers to female choreography.
Yeah, but it's not because now all of these like Korean pop bands they're doing the same thing that the Korean girls are doing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, you see, it was very common to have groups of like women like in like big groups,
Yeah.
and now it's kind of like these K-pop boy bands are like they're the ones that are like becoming something big and stuff now. Like they're even bigger than anybody now,
That's true.
and like it used to be frowned upon before. Remember?
Yeah.
Damn, it's cool just just learning like how much history is behind it.
Yeah, the history, yeah, it's a lot of what do you call it? Originators, of the.
You got like a lot of influence from a lot of people.
Yeah,
That's why it's pretty like for me. I think that's very cool.
yeah, it's really cool to see
Yeah, I thought
how
like
everything started.
I never expected it like there to be like so much stuff behind it. I thought it was just something that was formed like very quickly because we saw that it was popular.
Right.
But now it's making me think like completely different about this group, and like in all groups I can see it in K-pop now. I mean, but right now it's because we're learning.
It's probably better known than other dances because it's a part of the repertoire for international events. The similarities between this and the stage by Jimin are the use of buche and the fact that they're both.
Oh, that you heard Jimin?
Yeah.
That's Stephanie's bae.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stephanie, what's it called? Heart.
Oh, isn't it Fatima's as well?
Actually, I'm not sure who Fatima's is. I think she's her Sugar, right? I think what Stephanie said, I think it was Sugar.
I'm not
Or
100%
J-Hope,
sure.
Maybe it was J-Hope or
Yeah.
or Sugar.
Does she also have like her own frame of a favorite one, just like Stephanie?
I don't think she has a frame, but she's a fan. You know.
I'm impressed.
Right.
I'm
Well,
actually,
speaking of,
I'm actually surprised if Stephanie has a frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like very.
Right.
She's like very big fan of that.
Of Jimin.
Hold on.
All right, let's continue.
Kinds of mass games. Nevertheless, this buchechum has its own charms, right? However, ironically, this beautiful dance is not in the realm of Korean traditional dance. This dance was presented during the Mexico Olympics for the first time in the form of mass games with fancy buches and the clothes that are ornamented with feathers and painted flowers. But isn't it nonsensical to talk about something that is not Korean tradition after I told you that I would explain to you about Korean traditions?
Right.
Well, that is why it requires more detailed explanation.
Yes.
Let's go deeper into this. The stage by Jimin is inspired by not one, but two Korean traditional elements. The other inspiration is a different Korean traditional dance called Halyangmu. We have to go back to the idol music video in order to talk about Halyangmu. Look at this movement of Jimin when he walks towards the other members. Don't you feel that his clothes and the way he acts seems so relaxed and elegant like a nobleman? This movement is related to Halyangmu, the Korean traditional
I like that hat.
which is performed by a male.
Oh. So Jimin, is following through with that dance, the Hamlin Yang, they're doing. Oh, pretty interesting.
The definition of Halyangmu says that it's a dance by magnanimous and chivalrous member of nobility. So Halyang means a magnanimous and chivalrous nobleman. Mu means dance. So doesn't Jimin exactly match the definition of Halyang? Therefore, the stage by Jimin was a brilliant mixture of buchechum, which is a flamboyant group dance, and Halyangmu, which is a delicate and elegant dance. Then it is followed by Jungkook's Talchum stage. Hal means mask, so Talchum means mask dance.
Mask dance.
Oh, that's why they had the mask on and
Yeah.
the Melon
Would you
Music
be
Awards.
freaked out if someone like that came towards
Hey
you?
man, you asked that last time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, has that changed or not after this explanation?
No, it's still the same. I would just run.
Yes, wrong.
Just like Jimin
This guy
received
also has,
buche
like, long
from J-Hope,
sleeves.
the stage is switched again as Jimin passes a piece of white cloth called Hansam to Jungkook, who is in charge of the next stage. Remember this too. I'll talk about this again in the personal interpretation section. In the stage by Jungkook, I could see strong masculine lines and feel dynamic power. Also, it is so cool to see Jungkook proving again that he's a very talented dancer by dancing so proficiently with Hansam, which is very difficult to learn in such a short period of time. By the way, the stage by Jungkook was different from the stages of J-Hope and Jimin. It was not simply a dance, but it was actually a part of Talchum drama performance. This Talchum drama is like a parody or a satirical drama of some sort. What would be similar to this? Oh, that's right. It was something like SNL. They're very much alike in a way that they both satirize the reality, status system, religious, and social issues. The difference is that the actors cover their faces when they perform Talchum dramas. Several Talchum dramas are preserved and inherited in a number of regions of Korea. The stage by Jungkook is inspired by Korean traditional drama performance called Bongsan Talchum. This Talchum drama is an anthology or an omnibus of 7 different themes. The second story, called Palmok Jungchum, is very similar to the stage by Jungkook. The tile from the performance looks very similar to the tile worn by Jungkook. Also, Palmok Jungchum is a story of 8 characters. The stage by Jungkook is also performed by 8 dancers. Obviously, the choreography is reinterpreted as a modern dance, but still they have many similarities. Again, we'll talk more about the story of the Talchum in the personal interpretation section. After Jungkook is done with his stage, he throws his tile as a cue. Then it is switched to the enormous tile in the center stage. Then it opens up and 2 lions come on the stage, followed by a group of
That's
Korean
what that
traditional
came
art.
in, right?
That's the
Yeah.
2 lions.
I thought there was like dragons for a second.
Yeah, no, I thought they were lions.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I get it now. Like, it makes a lot of sense now. Like, I thought it was just like stuff that they were just doing to like that signified importance, I guess.
Yeah.
But not kind of knowing like some of the history of it, it kind of makes a lot of sense why they did it.
And
I thought everything was
Yeah.
just part of the dance routine and stuff. Like everything, like even like you said, like how they passed a piece of white cloth.
yeah.
Even that meant something. That's pretty cool.
That's why I think everyone in the audience, the word Koreans is the ones who really,
Understood it.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
they're like, oh wow, they did so many things with
They
this.
did a lot of research too.
Yeah. All right.
Artists, it was so heart-pounding to see a performance in such a massive scale. Do you remember Samulnori from the first episode? I talked about it as I was explaining the Korean traditional instruments. Do you also remember that I said Samulnori is a smaller version of Pungmulnori? I promise you that we'll talk about Pungmulnori in the second episode. What you're watching now is the Pungmulnori. It requires more people to play more various traditional instruments such as sogo, haepyeongso, nabal, and etc. Besides, unlike Samulnori, which only plays the instruments, Pungmulnori has a variety of theatrical characters who dance or do circus tricks. So we can say that it is a bigger and more dynamic performance. However,
Yeah.
I want to surprise you by telling you that there's something even bigger than Pungmulnori.
Right.
Wow! The Pungmulnori is also a part of the larger Korean traditional performance that is Namsadang Nori, which is one of the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritages. Pungmulnori is the opening stage of Namsadang Nori. You know the world-famous Cirque du Soleil, right? Namsadang Nori is kind of like a Korean version of Cirque du Soleil, which is a combination of largely scaled circus and instrumental performances. They turn somersaults and walk on a tightrope and more. Are you surprised? Because something keeps on coming up.
Wait,
Yeah.
have you ever had like have someone like on your neck, just like carrying them here?
Carrying somebody on your neck.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
I've never had that. You
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, I have.
When?
Oh.
Or why?
They said they want to see if I can do it. I did.
And you said yes, I could, and that's why you did it.
Yeah.
Yes. I also want to. It wasn't a guy, so like going to night, so like that. So then like I didn't have like the letter cross like underneath my neck.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure these people are trying to carry people in their necks.
I wasn't though. It really hurt afterwards.
Well, let's continue.
Out like Matryoshika dolls? Let's recap. Namsadang Nori is larger than Pungmulnori, which is larger than Samulnori.
Someone
Then the exciting idol stage that follows is just like what we always say, BTS did BTS, no explanation is needed, right? Now, I'll tell you something that you'll never be able to hear anywhere else, so that you can brag about it like, I'm a BTS fan who knows the minds of BTS more than anybody. I'll tell you the meaning of all the Korean traditional elements, including the Korean sounds that BTS wanted you to hear, and the Korean visual arts that BTS wanted you to see. The embedded meaning beyond what you can see and hear one-dimensionally. That is what I'll give you right now. And it's actually a word. Just one word that penetrates everything. Not only big hit
See, I told you.
Let's go back.
and BTS, but also the entire Korean BTS fans and Koreans who might have to watch this video are completely irrelevant with my personal interpretation, which I'm about to start now. While I was watching hundreds of videos that are related to this and staying up many nights researching and studying in order to explain MMA idol stage to you, I came across a magical moment that everything started to make sense. As a result of the magic, one word came into my mind. it has become possible to explain the hidden meanings of the stage, the song Idol, and even the music video of the song to you with one Korean word. The word that connects everything is 풍류. Everything that you've heard so far can be explained with this word. Oh, oops, I didn't tell you the meaning of the word. If I directly translate the meaning of the word 풍류, 풍 means wind, and 류 means to flow or water flows. However, unlike the meaning of the direct translation, this word can actually be interpreted as various meanings. It can be used as the meaning of religious activities such as a heaven worship ceremony. It also refers to an activity of enjoying the peace and calmness that nature gives you as a friend of nature that has 4 distinctive seasons. It also means having liberal thoughts and ideas, and it also implies a meaning of writing poems, singing, painting, dancing, and enjoying music. So this word has become the foundation for various Korean traditional arts. Most of Korean cultural heritage and traditional arts are enormously influenced by the word 풍류. If you take a look at ancient documents from Korea's neighboring country, numerous mentions about Korean people are found saying that Korean people enjoy dancing and singing. So basically, 풍류 is inseparable from Korea. This word 풍류 penetrates all the stages, the song, and the music video of BTS and connects them as one. Now I'll give you logical reasons why it is. J-Hope passes 부채 to Jimin, then Jimin passes 한삼 to Jungkook. Finally, Jungkook throws 달 to symbolize the transition of the stage. Even though all 3 members perform very distinctive stages, my interpretation is that they all sprouted out from one root. 풍류 was melted into each solo stage. Did you notice that J-Hope was barefoot?
No.
Why was he barefoot? Why was he dancing barefoot? Even though it
He
would
is
probably be
disgusting.
uncomfortable to dance in front of tens of thousands of people watching him. In my opinion, he was trying to portray a person who understands the meaning of 풍류. The one who doesn't worry about what others think of him and is not tied down to his status or his possessions. Among various characteristics of 풍류,
Here, take
Yeah,
my-
because someone that
Wait.
Yeah.
The legendary put it away. My freaking brother's talking. I don't know
We're in the middle of a reaction, Anthony.
why.
We're in the middle of a reaction.
Well, I didn't know. Like he never calls me. That's
So
why.
rude.
It's my little brother. I don't pick him up.
Okay, continue.
what I was saying is, because someone may see him barefoot and they would not understand why he's doing it, But
I think I asked why he was barefoot.
Hey, wait. I cursed off screen. They get to bleep it out.
wait,
Yeah, let me listen to the whole thing. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I mentioned something about him being barefoot when we saw it.
oh, good thing this guy explained.
I'm not sure though. Like, I think I remember saying something like that.
Oh,
I'm like, just continue.
yeah. So everything they do is for a reason,
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Apparently.
what I think J-Hope was trying to express was freedom. As J-Hope's dance, which implies freedom and dynamism of 삼고무, get mingled, the stage became abundant of 풍류. Jimin's stage was the same. Shall we look at the painting on the buches that dancers are holding? And look at this buche in this video. The paintings of the buche look alike, right? This is orchid, which is one of the symbols of nobility based on 풍류. Also, 한량 from 한량무, which is an inspiration for this stage, is a person who enjoys 풍류. In the modern society,
풍류.
where labors are considered sacred, the word 한량 is negatively used to describe a person who does not work. However, in traditional standards, 한량 is just like the lyrics of Idol that says, "You can stop me loving myself."
But that someone does not work, but is it in a negative context? You think?
No, he didn't
I don't think so.
say that.
So it's
yeah.
just a definition that you can
Yeah.
use. Oh.
Yeah, he didn't say yeah.
Person who enjoys 풍류 and proclaims that no one can stop loving himself regardless of how others look at him or describe him. Therefore, even if you only consider the fact that this stage is inspired by 한량무, the 풍류 code is still embedded in it. In case of Jungkook, the story which inspired the stage is literally talking about 풍류. In the story of this 탈춤 drama, one of the characters says, the sound that he followed was the sound of the waterfalls in the mountains, and the 풍류정 refers to a place where you enjoy 풍류. But I'm pretty sure you must have seen this from the music video of Idol. In this scene, I think they're trying to express the story of this Taichung drama in their music video by showing themselves excitedly dancing in the Pungnyu-jeong. Should we call them Pungnyu young men or Pungnyu guys instead of Bangtan boys now? Then Pungmulnori starts after Jungkook's solo stage. What this exciting stage is trying to express is too obvious now. These people are enjoying Pungyu as they wish blessings. After all the members come on the stage, paintings of nature and flower as well as patterns of buche start to appear on the screen in the back. They mostly symbolize Pungyu. Even these little details are all connected to Pungyu. Oh, remember this scene from the music video? There were an airplane and a globe. So it can be interpreted as they're trying to enjoy Pungyu with all the people around the world. Pungyu even appears in the lyrics of the song. You know the lines, 어수 좋다, 지화자 좋다. These are called 추임새, which is kind of like rejoinders. It is possible to interpret the meanings of 추임새s as to praise. Actually, 얼쑤 좋다 and 지화자 좋다 don't really have literal meanings as they are. You can just use it as expressions for good job, keep it up, or it's really exciting. In the interview about Idol with Korean media, there was a question about why they use the 추임새s such as 얼쑤, 지화자, and 덩기도 쿵더러러러. And this was the answer from RM. 추임새 originates from pansori. Pansori is a form of storytelling which is expressed musically, and pansori is a genre of traditional art that we can't leave out when we talk about Pungyu.
Is that a kid?
Yeah.
She looks like she's like at least.
Since Arun learned pansori from when he was very young, isn't it
that was a
natural
boy?
that such 추임새
Didn't he say he? So that's a boy?
Did he?
I heard he.
Oh yeah, just come out of his mouth like that.
Oh, that's a boy. I thought it was a girl.
Unless he.
It-
Okay. Let's continue. Yeah, because he's wearing like a dress, right?
No, I can't say dress because we don't know the name of it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't
Not
know.
getting to it, just continue.
Yeah.
He will be
it just
angry.
come out of his mouth like that. So don't you think Pungyu guys started out as Pungyu babies? And if you watch the teaser for the music video Idol, they joggle their shoulders like that. They're trying to express what we Koreans do as we shout out the 추임새s. I'll tell you what 덩기도 쿵더러러러 is too. Listen to this. Sounds pretty similar, right? So, it is an imitation of the sound of the Korean traditional beat.
Dude, I'm positive.
Then, even the dance to this lyrics must have the same meanings, right? Yes, it is. It is inspired by the Korean
that didn't
traditional
cut out.
movement. Since BTS wrote these Pungyu-stick lyrics to throw a huge party in this world, whenever you see idol performance, let's shout out 어수 좋다 and 지화자 좋다 together. That means we're cheering for them, saying, "Good job, BTS! Keep the party going." Isn't Pungyu so charming? So don't you agree that this word connects the song, the music video, and the stage? Now let's conclude. Let's think about why BTS showed you Pungyu and made you so excited. A lot of Koreans are watching this video too. They're interested in how I explain these things to you, as well as how you would react to this video. Among them, there might be some people who feel that something is missing in this video. They may think that we've forgotten about it. As you would remember, it's this. The video played with the sound of poop, which declared the beginning of the idol performance. If you're not Korean, you might have thought that it symbolizes water and fire or blue fire and red fire. I've seen such reactions. However, to eyes of most Koreans, it looks exactly like this. This is what is painted on the national flag of Korea as well.
God, that is
It is called taeguk, which means the root and the source of all things. So when taeguk spreads out everywhere like that, we can interpret the meaning as the culture and the message of Korea spreading out to the world. Broadly benefit all humankind. This is the founding principle of ancient Joseon, which was the first country ever founded in the long history of Korea. And this is the principle of education nowadays, which is written in the Constitution of the Republic of Korea. As you can tell, this principle is not proclaiming the superiority or prosperity of the nation. It is the message that we must serve others and spread out happiness to all the people in the world, across the borders and regardless of their races. BTS knew that it would be uneasy for you to open your heart to Korean traditions, regardless of how beautiful it is, if it was placed bluntly at the forefront. Therefore, BTS dissolved it into their stage and carefully kept the balance so that it may become a little bit easier for you to accept it. They're sending you happiness with their exciting music and performances. They're also delivering the message love yourself with their music as part of UNICEF campaign. Perhaps this message is inspired by this principle. If you love yourself first, then you become willing to love others too. If you're happy, your happiness can be passed on to someone else. Therefore, the message can be interpreted that they want their love and their happiness, which have started in themselves, to be spread out to others. Therefore, the principle broadly benefit all humankind and the message of BTS love yourself are fundamentally the same ideas. And this message is sent to you through Korean traditional Pungyu with its deep meaning like this. As a result of their efforts, you and BTS have fallen in love with each other. And BTS and you are making the differences in this world to benefit all humankind with positive impact. The Love Yourself campaign with UNICEF and countless donations and services by the BTS fans prove that it is true. Because of BTS and you, the world is becoming a happier and better place to live. I don't know if you've heard of that, but Korea had been invaded and colonized by its neighboring country since the early 1900s. At the time, there was a leader and a hero of this nation named Kim Gu. He had fought for the independence of the nation with everything he had. I would like to end this video by reading the excerpt from his essay titled My Hope, which is related to you. I want my country to be the most beautiful country of the world. Since I was heartbroken from the invasion of other country, I do not want my country to invade others. My only endless desire is the power of highly developed culture. The power of culture makes ourselves happy, then it will eventually give happiness to others. He's a wonderful man who had spoken of his hopes with his mind that is bigger than the resentment towards the country that invaded his country. The world that he wanted to see the most is the world that you and BTS are making right now. The message of BTS that is telling us to love ourselves and others, and this reality that we are happy because of our highly developed culture, and that you are also happy because of BTS. It has already been 70 years since he passed away, but I wonder how happy he would have been if he were alive today and saw you and BTS who sincerely love each other. I tear up just by imagining it. Therefore, you are a very special person to me as much as to BTS. I'm deeply honored that I was able to make this video for you, explaining and interpreting the stage of BTS and telling you the story about why I'm grateful to you. Let's love ourselves, as always, with my grateful heart.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's over. There's like only like 14 seconds left.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's pretty much over.
Did he cry?
Huh?
Did he cry?
No,
Thank you for answering my question, Anthony. I'm asking you guys, how do you like the video?
it was very educational,
A lot of education.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
information.
Well, he will look very interested, and he doesn't like history.
Yeah,
me?
it's true. I don't really like history. I hate it. But the way the guy explained it was very inspirational. You know, very touching.
I felt like he had he put a lot of feeling into it,
Yeah. Yeah.
like emotion.
Like
he was
he-
talking like if he was actually like living in those eras, like speaking for the guy, like the leader,
Kim Koo. Yeah.
speaking for him.
Like he really cared about.
Yeah,
you know.
he seems to care also. That's why I got the feeling like that. And
You
what
know,
about
he-
Anthony? What you got from this?
I'm kind of sad that like he didn't start him drawing anymore throughout the video.
You don't care about the animations, right?
Yeah,
What?
I care.
Okay, so I mean, I liked it. I thought it was like very educational too.
Yeah.
Like for me, I didn't know any of that stuff, and just seeing like how it connects to from the videos that we've seen, like the Melody Music Awards,
Hmm.
it makes a lot of sense now. Like I feel like I don't know. I used to think that they were just performing like just because they were performing and celebrating
Yeah.
like the independence. But then now I see like there was like a huge backstory behind it, and everything they did in their performance was like basically tied to it. So that's pretty cool that they were able to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, for me not being a Korean, like I didn't get that, but now like I get it. Well,
So much information is.
It goes. Yeah.
There's just so much. I'm glad I got to suck most of it in.
that's how you prank you, bro. Other night. Okay, so this is gonna end the video. Please subscribe to this channel, like us, and keep watching our videos, please.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
All right.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
I'm saying that.
See you guys.
Thank you.
All right, see you guys in the next
Bye.
one. Yeah.